So let's talk about new Toyota Tacoma regrets. What I'm in here is a 2024 TRD Sport two-wheel drive. And first of all, let me say right off the bat, because I know somebody's going to ask, no, I don't regret getting a two-wheel drive. I don't need a four-wheel drive. And for those that think maybe the looks or something like that is concerning, my truck is lifted, it has a level lift on it, and honestly, you wouldn't know it wasn't four-wheel drive unless you looked inside. No big deal. So let's get to it. I have actually 4 regrets. None of these are big enough that it makes me regret buying the truck at all. More things that I either wish I would have gotten or would have done with the 2024 Tacoma, and maybe a couple of things that you might want to consider if you're in the market and you're looking to pick up a new Tacoma. Number 1 is the pricing. Now, we all know about the controversy out there about pricing on the new Tacoma, right? They raised the price. I'm really not here to talk about that. What I am here to talk about is the money that I could have saved if I would have waited a little bit longer. You see, I've heard reports out there of dealerships offering rebates or reductions in price on the new Tacoma because apparently they're starting to accumulate some inventory, which, you know, in the past wouldn't have been a bad thing. I mean, you remember the days when you could go do a lot walk and there'd be rows of Tacomas out there that you could pick from? Now there's a handful or a little more on the lots, and apparently dealers are panicking. I think they got used to not having anything on the lots, so now that they're getting more trucks on the lots, they're more concerned that they're not going to sell. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, I could have saved probably anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 had I just waited until about now to pick up the new Tacoma. And see, I thought I got a pretty good deal to begin with. I did not pay over MSRP. I did not pay any dealer additions or markups or any of that. And I didn't pay for any extra added options like paint protection or cloth interior protection or any of that kind of stuff. So I think I did get a pretty good deal. However, I could have gotten a better deal in the form of possibly reductions in price from dealerships right now. Who knows? You can never go back, right? Next up, this doesn't really have anything to do with the purchase of the Tacoma itself. Shortly after I got the truck, I discovered that Toyota was doing a lift, or they had a lift for the truck, a level lift. So I went ahead, made my appointment, picked the lift, picked the wheels and tires, all that stuff, and it was all part of a package deal. Less than $4,000 for the lift, the wheels, the tires, the labor, all that good stuff. Now, what my regret is I guess going with the wheels that I went with, because ultimately they didn't give me enough wheel poke, enough extension outside of the fender well, if you will. I'll show you a picture right here. What I'm used to is about 3 or 4 inches, something like that, beyond the fender wells. It gives you a nice aggressive looking stance, a bit more wheel poke than I got. Now, I did get a little bit, so it's not like it's a complete loss, but if I'd have gone with, say, a -10 or something like that offset, I would have gotten more of the look that I wanted. Down the road, maybe next year or something, I don't know, I probably will switch out the wheels. I'll keep the tires because I like those. Those are Falcon Wild Peak AT3Ws, and I'm not disappointed with the size of those tires either. I think they accomplished really what I was looking for, but I do wish or regret maybe just keeping the stockers on there and then going to a discount tire or something and getting wheels with the Falcon Wild Peaks with more offset than what I got right now. Maybe something to think about if you're considering doing Toyota's level lift, maybe getting the tires and the wheels outside of Toyota so that you can get more of a, I guess, an aggressive setup if you're into that kind of thing. Number 3, window tint. You know, part of the original pricing on my truck was window tint. They included window tint. Now, it was more expensive about twice as much money, although I'm sure a more quality window tint, an upgraded window tint to what I normally get. But it's about $450, something like that, to do a full tint on the truck. Everything except the windshield. In hindsight, it would have been nice to have that done before I actually picked up the truck. You know, I always worry when I go to a shop, even though I have a shop that does a good job, but I always worry when I go there that they're going to damage something. You know, I had windows tinted on a Santa Cruz once a while back, and the tinter actually pulled the door card a little bit, more than he should have, I think, to squeeze that tint down between the glass and the frame, and did not put the window, or door card rather, back in the way that they should have. They pushed it against the holders as opposed to into the holders. So that kind of soured me a bit, I guess, when it comes to having window tint done beyond the dealership. Again, I would have paid quite a bit more money, in terms of like double the money, but still, it would have been nice to have it done when I picked up the truck, and something that I don't have to screw with down the road, which I will. Lastly, the screen. What we have in here now is the screen, the standard screen that comes with the truck. You guys can see it right there. Now, I have been a bit spoiled. I bought a Tesla recently, a Model 3, and of course it has a big 15-inch screen. I mean, look at that thing. It is awesome. I wish I would have gone with what I believe is the 14-inch option. It's not really an option. You either buy it that way when the truck is delivered or not. It's not something you can put in later on, but it would have been nice to have that bigger screen in the Toyota Tacoma. The only caveat to that, I guess, is that it's not going to be as capable, useful as what it is in the Tesla, but it still would have been nice to have that screen in the truck, and it's not something that I can add now. In other words, I can't rip this screen out and put that bigger screen in. At least not as far as I know. So anyway, those are just 4 regrets, I guess, and I'm reaching. None of these regrets would have stopped me from buying the truck. I mean, it didn't. I bought the truck, right? But they're just 4 things that maybe I should have taken a closer look at and taken care of when I actually bought the truck. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think of those. Would they matter to you or not? I'd just be curious to know. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.